Hey guys, this is Perfectly Imperfect. Here to tell you another story time. It was some years back when um, my ex husband and I would travel. Sometimes you carry the kids, and sometimes you wouldn't. And this time we decided that we weren't going to carry the kids because we were only going away for 3 days. So it was just a weekend trip, and we'll be right back. But for some reason, every time we would go away, this one particular child of ours, he was the third child. He is the third child of the four children. He would always get sick. He'll have either a little cough or something that we'll have to take him to the doctor for. But when we're home, he's good. He is just excellent. So when we came back off the 3 days trip, we recognized that um, heard from my mother-in-law that he wasn't feeling well. And we tried to figure out what was going on with him. So she said that he wasn't eating like that. So she said she looked in his mouth, but she didn't see anything in his mouth. Um, so we came home that night. So that day, the next day, I decided to not let it go on because she said it was happening like for like 2 days. So it was like on the second day of our trip, he started to act in this manner where he was not eating. Um, so when I carried him to the hospital, they ran this test on him, still in Pampers. He was about 3 years old. And they did, um, they took bloods from him. They put him on drips because he wasn't eating right away. You know, they put the needle in the hand, put the drips on and everything. And they said, okay, we have to carry him for x-ray. So they carried him for x-ray. When the x-ray came back, that was the widest x-ray I've ever seen in my entire life. And so we saw doctor call doctor, call doctor, call doctor, call doctor, call doctor. And they just told us that they wanted us to wait in the waiting. So we waited in the waiting room, and then for about a couple minutes, and they told us that from the X-ray, they put it up on the little light under the light, and they said that from the X-ray they could see that he has bronchial pneumonia. And I'm looking like, so how did he get this? Because I explained to them he was left with my mother-in-law, and I don't understand. Just 2 days ago, and I don't understand what the process is, why, how he, you know, how this happened. And so I just was wondering. So the doctor said, well, we don't know, and this is what showed up on the x-ray. So the x-ray was basically covering most of his chest. The white was covering most of his chest. So they told us that he had to be admitted, and um, his condition doesn't look so good. So they placed him on the children's ward, and he was there for a while. He was in an induced coma. I don't remember. I don't think that they put him in one, but he just was just sleeping. Um, they had feeding tubes running through his body. They had tubes all through my baby. And he was just sleeping 3 days. And I was like, I have insurance. Let me carry him off to the doctor. So they had him at bed 1. And for you guys, y'all know when you at bed 1, you critical. And my baby was sleeping for the 3 days I went there. I went there morning and after work. And every opportunity I got, I went there. I went there when it wasn't even visiting time. I went to go and check on my child. And all the medications they were giving him, nothing was working. Nothing was working. And my family came there on visit time, and they were carrying on so bad and crying and, and everything. And they was just crying, and I was telling them, let me take him. And I'd already had inside my head how I can call the air ambulance, and they can send him off to the doctor in the States, and we can get whatever this is sorted out. And no matter what it costs, I can get my baby sorted out. But the doctor refused to sign off on my baby to move. He said that he couldn't move. That's how bad his condition was. So, what I decided to do, I decided to pray. I decided to pray, guys. I decided to pray. And I said, God, there's nothing else I can do. I said, I have to put him in your hands. I said, because you gave me him. You breathed life into him. You made sure that I could carry him for 9 months. You made. So, on the 7th day, the doctors came to us and they said that there's no change in your son. And we're going to wait 3 more days on this medication that we're giving him. Then we would have to give him um, these heavier drugs, Vicomycin and Clarifarm. I think that was the name of the medication. And these were like two heavy hitters medication. And they said that the side effects would be severe. And bear in mind, baby's still sleeping, 7 days, still sleeping. And so I went to God. I went to God on this. And I said, God, I said, you gave life. You gave him life. And I have to bring my child back to you. I said, because God, there's nothing else I can do. You are the creator. I can row with man, but I can't row with you. So I have to put him back in your hands. And I prayed, I went to the throne room, guys, and I heard the Holy Spirit said to me, all is well. And the peace that came over me when I heard those words, I didn't know if he was saying, yes, I'm going to take him away, or if he was going to give him back to me safe and sound. So I went in the hospital those days after prayer. My family still was carrying on bad, and trying to figure out like why I ain't carrying on like them, but I already had this peace. Because we could fight with man, but we can't fight with God. Because we can't win. We can't win. So 3 days I went to the hospital back and forth. Every opportunity in between visits, I was there. I was there. And on that third day, which made the 10th day, the day that they were supposed to give him the big boy medication, my baby sit up and he said, Mommy, I thirsty. I want some water. I said, you thirsty, baby? You thirsty? And the nurse, them, like, they get up and they rush over there and they call the doctor. And they was checking everything on my baby. Because how is this even possible? For the child not showing no signs. Showing no signs of getting well or getting better. To sit up and say, Mommy, I thirsty, I want water. So they check all his vitals and everything. And he had no more fever because they had up his clothes for the entire time. He just had on a Pampers. They wouldn't allow him to have on any clothes because he's just 3 years old. Going through all of this, 3 years old. And I just watched God. They carried him back the following day to do a chest x-ray. Can I say the chest x-ray was black? Just showing his rib cage. Can I say the next day my boy was sucking ice? Can I say the next day he was on soft foods? Can I say the day after that, he was on soft food still for 2 more days. And then the fourth day after that, he was eating hard food. And on the 15th day, he was discharged. If God is for you, listen to me, my followers. Tell me who can be against you. Who? And if he can do it for me, little old me, he can do it for you. So follow me for more, because I'm perfectly imperfect. I have a lot to tell. Follow me for more. Trust me, you'll see how good God has truly been to me.